Okie doke. I'll see if this. I'm trying to find out if this is going to be a good camera angle without me having to dilly dally too much. So, anyways, and I don't even know if I'm going to do a turn, but I would like to talk a few things out. That's for bloody sure. The one thing right off the bat is I didn't clue in that. Okay, there's only 10 turns, but there's a heck of a lot of phases in each turn. You've got, let's say. Okay, oh yeah, okay. How about I start off telling you what I'm doing with the setup. So there's essentially, it seems to be two setups. There's the historical game, and then there's the free deployment game. And for the historical game, as you can imagine, you set up where the game designer roughly thinks the units are with the scale. And in the free deployment, you're allowed to, the Allied player sets up all their units first. 7 French armies, and the BEF may be placed in any hex side inside France, and so on and so forth. And it starts off with the Allied first move. This is fascinating game, is right off the bat, just because I think potentially the replayability value of, oh my gosh, I wish I could have met somebody like a good friend teenager or something playing this game repeatedly over Saturday evenings. Oliaf. Just because I can see the replayability, I can start already. I haven't even played the bloody game, and I can already start seeing anticipation of just due to the fact of the way it works with. Okay, so here we go with the sequence outline of the game turn. It says so. I'll tell you anyway. Sorry about this. I'm jumping all around. My mind is like a mile a minute. I'm also listening to some amazing techno that It's been a techno desert for me lately. Almost. Occasional little oasis, how's that? But this has just brought me right back. I listened to some of her this morning and I was like, oh, thank gosh, thank you. So I'll try not to tap my toes and all that type of stuff. We'll see what happens. Anyways, but I need it to quiet some other chunks of my mind. Allied movement phase is the first one. If you're doing the historical setup, you actually don't go with the Allied movement phase. I think you start off with probably the superior player determination phase or something. It's due to the fact that it's trying to model the fact that, obviously the Central Powers are doing something. Even though if you look at it so I set up historically, but I'm going to play after that free deployment. So it essentially would be, I'm starting with the, hold on, I gotta get back to it again. I keep hopping around with these rules. There's only 8 pages too, and it's amazing. I'm like, why do you keep hopping around them then? So I keep flipping the pages. But anyways, I'm going to start off with section 1421. Then I'm going all the way down to 1432. So in other words, I'm setting up historically and then allowing the Allied players to move first. Then the next bit for your phases would be, hold on here, I'm going to get to it. The Central Powers will then move. Then, this is the kicker. That's why I'm starting to talk about there's a possibility of looking ahead of time and like sometimes maybe cutting your losses in one bit so you, gosh almighty. Because the superior thing kicks in here, man. If there's some way of you being able to anticipate or being able to make that happen when you want it to happen, oh my goodness. Which player will be considered to be the superior player for the remainder of the game turn is determined by totaling up the combat resource points, which are called crypts in this game, of each of the players. The player with the greater amount of crypts presently at his disposal is the superior player. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to try to gender neutral it once we get into the world. If I start spotting that, it's driven me nuts ever since I've had a daughter. In the first game turn of, well, Zoe, do for it. The Central Powers is the superior player by a margin of 60 to 46. In case of a tie, the Central Powers player is considered to be superior. So then they go from, so like I said, determination phase just to figure out who's superior. Then the superior player gets to attack first. So even the allies get to move. You see what I mean? I have to start figuring out, I have to clue in on the first turn. I get the move. But the Central Powers are going to be able to start doing some funky stuff. Then it's the superior players. Then it's the inferior player's first attack phase. Then the second attack phase for the superior player. Then the inferior player get a second attack phase. Then the superior player gets a third one, then in the inferior ninth, and then allocation and build phase. So it's parts of these. Well, obviously I haven't played the game yet, so I haven't even done a rule yet, or whatever. Interestingly, though, when I saw Netherlands, I didn't clue in. When I saw 25, I went, "Oh wow, great! 25 victory points. If I'm the Central Powers, I'm going to invade Netherlands right away." Then I read the rule. I even told Meandering Mike that, and afterwards, when I looked at the rules, I was like, "Oh, it meant 25 points are allocated to the non-invading player." So I'm like, "Okay, I won't be doing that." This is a weird one. I don't know if you can see it, but it's Antwerp over here. And from what I've been reading, some of the victory points I get are the pick and shovel thingamajigs. So I'm assuming if I can move a player into Antwerp, I should be able to temporarily get those points, I think. Obviously, I don't want to give up Belgium. This thing, and I don't know what the supply mark. Well, it's a what am I saying? It's a supply line. I have to worry about being out of supply. It's the western edge of the map is essentially for the Allies, I do believe, and I will get all into that at some point in time. Okay, you know what? I'm going to end the video pretty quickly. I'm going to tell you what I would like to do going forward with both sides is maybe trying to come up with a initial master strategy, and then from there go with it. Okay, I know it's going to sound crazy, but tough. I want to play this game out, so I'm going to play it by the rules. Like I said, I'm using, just like Meandering Mike mentioned, suggested I should stick with the original strength points for attack and defense, which is exactly what I'm doing. And I'm just looking down there, and then we'll go and start taking a look at how the. I'm very, very optimistic about this game, to be honest with you. All right, so what am I going to do for the Allies? I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to try to figure out how to do it. And look, Greece only gives you 5 points. Oh, well, you probably can't see that. Oh, hold on here. Well, you can, but it's just everything is like super duper whatever. So, okay. So Greece will give the other side 5, the non-invading power, 5 victory points. So what I would like to do with the Allies, I don't know how to do it, but this is the only thing I know there's a variable entry, optional roll or whatever. The only issue I have with these type of things is I know, for example, like in turn 2, I think Italy or Turkey automatically enters the war. And I'm pretty darn sure they automatically have to enter with the Central Powers. So I can play with that a little bit, if you see where I'm coming from. Also, I know that, yet again, historically or whatever, eventually Greece is going to join the Allied powers. So why in the world would I want to do what I'm about to do, which is what I'm about to do? I don't know how to do it though, I have to go and take a look. But I would love, as the Allied powers, to invade Greece and help Serbia out that way. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to focus my attention on Serbia, not the way classically lots of people do, which is, okay, we're going to go towards and try to help squash, or either way, you know what I mean? Like, you're towards the Russians, you want to go this way. No, we're going to focus all our attention towards Serbia. So anybody that's in the way, we have to get rid of you or circumvent you. And of course, unfortunately, Greece, yet again, we have to do something. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to holding pattern here with the Allies, holding pattern there with the Allies, with the Russians, and we're going to try to squish, we're going to try to hammer towards Austria-Hungary somehow. I'll even try, like, you see here, there's a 1 strength point fort, I guess. For the Germans here, I'm going to start seeing, I've mentioned this even way back in the day with Der Weltkrieg and the Western Front. I'm a southerner, man, a Western Front southerner. I want to go towards that area. I've always been that way. So let's do that. Let's give this a shot. So I'm going to try, if I can, I don't think I can, I don't think there's any way I can bring troops via this, oh gosh, I would love to. I don't think I can via like a sea route or something. I think there's some kind of weird, I'll have to go and take a look. But I would love to be able to bring some Allied troops, invade Greece right off the bat. Sorry, King Constantine, up yours. And then Venizelos, come on, baby. And then, well, he wanted this to happen right away anyways. And then we'll start helping Serbia up that way. I don't think it'll happen, though. But then, of course, like I said, I already know what's about to happen with, well, Bulgaria is probably, based on what I think, they'll enter the war with the Central Powers. Turkey will, and so on and so forth. It's going to, But anyways, that's my master plan with the Allies, is we're going to try to help Serbia only, essentially. I don't know what the hell they do with the Central Powers, to be honest with you. I really don't. I'll just leave them at that for now. But that's my allied plan, is I'm going to do something wacky. I'm going to try to completely put all my eggs in the Balkan basket. That's it. All right, see you later. Hope you're having fun as usual.